I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
All right, here we go. Welcome to the Monday KVJ After the Show podcast. All right. Nice little Monday here. Hot weekend, my goodness. Oh, so hot. They say it might be a little bit better today, temperature-wise, but over the weekend, everything felt like every day was 110.
Oof, yeah, Saturday for me was just suffocating.
Yeah, it was rough. We went out to play, Cannon loves to play basketball, and we went out, I think it was, he was out Friday night and we were out Saturday night. We were out at like 8 p.m., and it was still just standing there, just sweating buckets. Just standing there.
She's thick out there.
Oh, my gosh. Just absolutely insane. Yeah, so I saw that they're doing more indoor golf places inside South Florida. Tiger Woods is opening up that indoor golf location that is on PGA. It's on the Palm Beach State campus, and they're going to have pro golfers in there playing starting in January. It's going to be a league, and it's going to be televised on ESPN.
I mean, talk about turning lemons into lemonade and being so smart that when you get injured and you can no longer walk the golf course, you create a way so that you can still play and you can get other guys to play and none of y'all have to walk the golf course.
Yeah.
And then you can make money off of that.
Right.
It's genius.
He's smart in that, and that's big for him because he can knock out some shots. He'll it'll be interesting to see how he does because he unfortunately is not doing very well in the golf. I mean, he just had a disastrous first round in the British Open over the weekend. It was rough. He just can't really play anymore.
How much longer does the Tiger have, do you think, before he hangs up the red shirt?
I don't know, man. He honestly, it kind of feels like he got that Biden thing going on. He's just like,
who's going to tell him?
Well, he was talking about, he's like, but I'm getting healthier. He said next year it's going to go a lot better. And I was like, he just keeps saying this every year where he's like, my health is getting better and next year is going to be better. And, you're just kind of sitting there and be like, all right, I hope you're right. But, you kind of got that skepticism where you're like, yeah, I know, but
it's a hard thing to let go of, man.
I hear you. I get it. And honestly, you see it in a lot of people. I'll probably be one day I'll probably be fucking senile and saying wacky shit, and y'all be like, dude, you really need to probably walk. I'll be like, I'm fine.
They're gonna go, man. He sounds
snuffle up against farts, and you'd be like,
why does Kevin all of a sudden sound like Jaybird?
Right. You're like, what is going on?
You don't want to give up on it because when you give up on it, then you're saying, okay, now I'm officially old.
Yeah. Well, look, you see it in so many professions. There have been college football coaches that have done that. Bobby Bowden at Florida State, apparently he had this thing where he was worried about retiring, didn't want to leave because he thought when he did, he was going to die. I think it was Bear Bryant, something like that, who had coached at Alabama so successfully. I think he died like within 2 weeks or something like that of retiring.
Oh, damn.
Well, and so they think, this is it. Once I step away, this has been my whole life. This is everything. This is what I do. And in their mind, they're still doing it at a high clip, they think.
A big profession, you see it, is in the wrestling industry.
Okay, yeah.
Where you've got guys that are going into their mid-50s.
Oh.
And they're still wrestling. A lot of them still wrestle in their mid-50s, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Can you imagine putting your body through that kind of damage at 50?
I mean, look at John Cena right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like clipping on 50.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a time where they don't know their time has come.
Yeah,
the new blood's coming in.
You see it a ton, and I don't want to throw anything on it. It's a weird phenomenon that it just, I think when you're in it, you're so close to it that it's the denial of your own faculties that you can't see.
We could all pull a Biden.
Yeah.
Well, it's why Billy Joel stopped writing music. He said, you know what? I'm not enjoying this anymore. I'm getting older, and I feel like this last album that I did, this is back in the 90s, because it wasn't that labor of love I liked. It felt forced, and I felt like I didn't have anything else to say. I don't think my quality was going to be the same, so he backed out of it. He said it was a very hard thing for him to accept.
Yeah, then he did have some more to say.
Well, he did in the last
recently.
Song. Yeah,
that was a great song.
Well, and you know what I like in that too? That was almost because Tiger came back and he won the Masters a couple years ago. And then you're like, okay. And that in their own mind has got to be the vindication. Say, if the planets align, I had that one day.
Was that before or after the car crash?
It might have been right before. I'm trying to remember because that was 2019, I think, when he did that.
I think that car crash. I mean, he shattered his legs.
Adds another thing to it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you shatter your legs, there's a good chance you're not going to be the same person you were.
They put his legs back like a robot leg.
Yeah.
I mean, it is not his leg.
And I think people like that recognize it. I mean, there was even a country song. I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. And the whole song is Toby Keith going through, he's with ladies. He's like, look, I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was, saying I can give you, I can knock it out amazingly one time. His buddy gets into a bar fight, and he's like, I'm not going to take on the whole bar, but I can still lay it down,
Isn't his buddy Cletus in that video?
I don't think it was Cletus. I mean, Dave, I think, was the name of his buddy in the song.
God, yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's what the whole concept is, and I think you see that. I think that's maybe where Tiger is right now in the grand scheme of things.
Cletus meaning the actor Cletus. There's a big country guy. That
I don't know.
Does all the country kind of. He did a lot of that stuff in the with country videos. He was a comedian, but he was like one of them.
Oh, it sounds about right, Cletus.
Yeah, Cletus.
Yeah, country comedy. They love it.
They do.
You go to Pigeon Forge and their stand-up comedy place. I remember it's called the Comedy Barn.
Of course it was.
And it was just hee-haw, knee-slapping type humor.
What kind of stuff would they say?
Oh, I just remember because we were walking by and they had some of the jokes. It was like, you might be a redneck if.
God, yeah.
It's just.
I would love that.
I mean, it hits with the crowd.
Well, if I was in a small town and I saw that going on, I'd definitely pull up, a little haystack and watch that. Mm-hmm. That'd be fun.
How very country of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what they're going to be doing, too, and you think about the heat, I'm all for this because, look, where I am with golf now, going out and even riding in a golf cart for 18 holes, I'm not feeling it. I'm okay golfing for maybe 5-6 holes, and then after that, I'm like, I think I've had my fill. I'm good.
If you do it right, it's almost like a 3.5-4 hour process.
Right. I don't love golf to that level, but I like going to a drive shack and hitting for an hour, and then I'm like, okay, you know what? I've hit enough. I'm good. So that's why I think this is great, because the only knock right now I have on Drive Shaft, I was there a couple weeks ago with the kids. It's still freaking hot. It was really hot out there. So, they're talking about doing a couple different indoor places. X Golf is a place that is opening up in the former Peter Glenn Ski and Sports in the Palm Beach Marketplace on Okeechobee Boulevard. I don't even think I know where that is. What is that?
That's what they started doing with the batting cages. You have batting cages that were outside, and you'd be sweating your balls off. They started building them indoors.
Yeah.
And it's cozy.
Yeah, so this is, I guess, going to be the new thing, X Golf. I mean, they're reeling it back in a little bit even more. It's going to be these it's golf simulators where you would go in, and it's like you're playing golf. It'd be like Drive Shack, except you just hit the ball into a screen, and then it tells you where your ball went.
Okay.
You don't need the big, huge property that your Drive Shacks, your Top Golf, because those places have a huge chunk of land.
So it's fake golf.
It is, yeah. But you would be inside. You have bars all over the place. So you can get cocktails, you can get food. They probably have music playing.
And is the experience as good, though, as hitting a ball at your Drive Shack Top Golf?
Of course
where you
not.
See the ball actually go.
But here's the thing. You're going to have to weigh it because you're at Drive Shack and you're sweating your balls off.
Your golf balls and your regular balls.
And you're kind of like, I'm kind of miserable. You're like, yeah, but I can see the ball actually flying. That's kind of cool. But you're in the AC and you're hitting a ball. What is your overall feeling in that moment? Saying, you know what, this is kind of cool. It's good enough.
If it's nice weather out, to me, the real thing would be the best option.
Yeah. And I think that might be how it swings. But they're also going to be doing things like shuffleboard, and they'll have other things going on.
Shuffleboard. That's kind of a
Yeah.
fun old person game.
I do love shuffleboard.
Old people love the fuck out of that game.
Yeah. Well, they're,
It's so fun.
yeah, they're kind of doing this. I mean, they've got the Pop Stroke, which that's fun. They're opening up new locations. In fact, they're opening up one by the Palm Beach airport, but they have one in Delray. I took Cannon to. And it's cool because they have, it's smaller holes. They're nice, but it's got a sports bar inside that you would sit there and watch games all day. And they have cornhole and all kinds of other things to play there as well. So you could really spend a whole day there.
Was it packed?
No, not when we went. We went on a Friday afternoon, and so it was full enough. I mean, there are people there, but then again, they got the bars and you can get craft beers and all that kind of stuff. There might be something to this. Might do all right.
Sounds fun. I kind of want to hit some balls now.
Yeah, they said the Delray Beach Indoor Golf Center is going to be opening up on July 27th. So again, it's going to be, and you can play different golf courses from around the world that will come up. So it's like you're on that hole.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, anymore they get pretty good with simulation, right?
They do.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'd have to get like a real golfer that knows to have them go say, yeah, okay, it's almost as fun.
Well, it's not going to, I mean, look, hitting the ball for real is always going to be the better thing. I see what Kevin's saying about the air condition, but you want to feel and see that ball go, baby.
Right. You're talking about people like me who I'm not an avid golfer. I think it's fun for an hour and then I'm done.
You're more of an avid drinker.
I am. You're right. And so if you're an avid drinker and you're a nominal golfer, this would be like, okay, that'd be fun because I do like having activities while I'm drinking. It's more fun than just sitting there and talking. I mean, though that's fun too, but it's more fun to have an event.
But
if
you are outside and you're kind of getting hammered or you're getting buzzed, sweating and having a buzz is not always ideal or fun.
No.
Yeah.
It drains you.
I was a little put off out there. I had a great time with the kids and all that was good, but just the sweat, the ball sweat, and not your golf balls is kind of annoying.
I'm ready to golf it up, you son of a biscuits.
Okay.
If not, we can always do a little video game golf at my house, or we can always do mini golf.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it all. I like going mini golfing
Me
at
too.
night.
Yes.
Because the one up by us, the Jupiter Lighthouse one, you can order a beer on your phone. Like you'll be on hole 6 and you just scan the QR code, order a beer on your phone, and they bring it to you.
I want to do that. That sounds so fun to
Bruh. It's so awesome.
me. Adult mini golfing.
I agree.
Where it's a good date place. I'm in.
I like going late when there's not as many kids. Because the kids F up your rhythm if you're trying to mini golf because it take forever.
Well, if I'm going out and I'm going to be getting turned, that would be a night where I'd want to get some drinks in me. I don't want to be all fucked up around your kid. Leave your kid at home, please. Or let me know your kid's. The worst is when you're in party mode and you're kind of getting fucked up in the pregame, and all of a sudden your friend shows up with the kid without telling you. I'm like, dog, I'm fucked up right now.
I said I was sorry.
Yeah, I am talking to you. Now I'm having drunk conversations with Rocco. I don't want that for him.
All right, some of the emails here. Chris sent one in. Virginia, when she told her story about Rocco and getting, I guess, scolded by this mom for the project he'd worked on with her son. And there's arguments about intellectual property, and apparently Rocco had done something in a video that made her son sad or upset. And Virginia's like, what kind of comments do I get, Kev?
Does everybody think I'm stupid?
Everybody think I'm crazy?
Yes.
Chris said, Virginia thinks it's fine to teach Rocco to mouth F you on their TikTok golf cart video. It's no big surprise that Rocco doesn't know what he did wrong. There's more to this story, I'm sure.
I never taught him to mouth F you. He does that on his own.
Okay. Yeah. His fault, yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to hear a little bit more to this story because I think we do need more depth as to what specifically Rocco supposedly did to make the kids sad.
Move number 2, I think, needs to be Panda sends a text to this mom, which he's spent time with. They were at the park the other day, and she was there, and Panda was there, and the kids were playing, and so Panda was like in that situation where you're I'm sitting here on this bench talking to this other parent, and he was just there. He was just in it. So he's spent way more FaceTime with her than I have. And so I'm going to let him handle this because Rocco does not want me talking to her.
Rocco's smart in that sense. I think it's a great idea for Panda to handle this one.
Yeah.
Let's see how he does. Let's see how he does.
We'll put him in.
Well, yeah.
We'll put him in, but he better get at least a single.
He better come correct, and he better take out the trash.
What makes you satisfied on how he handles it, Virginia? How do you grade it?
Well, I want to first of all know like what this beef is about, like specifically.
No doubt.
So we have to get that information. But then we also have to address the fact that if she ever has a problem in the future with my child, she needs to try to reach out to me or my husband, not to the child.
That's a weird move to go directly to. Now, if you're talking a teenager, late teens especially, maybe.
That's weird.
I was going to ask you.
I agree.
What age would it be okay for someone to reach out to a kid to talk about beef?
It's never the right move for the mom to handle in the first place at any age. That's not the right first move.
I don't think beef should be addressed with the parent to my kid.
So even if
it becomes more weird the younger the kid is.
I agree. But okay, let's say Cannon's 17 and he's got a problem with another kid. Should the mom or dad reach out to you, right? And talk to you about that?
Yeah.
If they've got an issue.
Yeah, still. Even then.
They don't reach out to Cannon.
Or the two kids handle it.
Yeah, or the two kids
handle it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, parents calling the kid, that's a weird move to me.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because you want to bring the parent involved, just so everyone's on the same page.
Well, that way we can make this a teaching moment instead of making this odd and aggressive and confusing, because the kid, Rocco, doesn't know what he did wrong. And so now you're calling him and you're asking him what he did, and he doesn't know what he did. So you've created all this confusion. You've created all this weirdness now with me where I want to come get all up in your face with my tits out. Like, what? You want some? That's not... You've created all this.
I'm so caught up in this drama now. Now I need to know.
I know, I do too. I really want to find out what it was.
I didn't start this drama. I will finish this drama.
Well, I think it's good that you can just calm down and cool your brooms.
Don't you tell me to calm down. That's the worst thing you can say to a woman.
That's not what I meant.
You said it.
And I don't look at you as a woman. So we've got that to kind of deal with. And I agree. I wouldn't say that to normal women. No, what I meant was it's good that Panda is going to we're giving Panda the ball.
Panda's got the ball.
Let's see what he does.
Let's see what he does.
Okay. All right, Panda, you're on the clock.
Yes.
Don't mess this up.
There's part of me that kind of
Well,
wants to know.
should we help him craft the text?
No, I think he should really handle it. Let's see what the guy's got.
Can't be overbearing on this and looking over his shoulder. You got to let him do it.
Panda's going to get the answer. There's not going to be a fight, and we could probably repair a relationship. I know you're not used to that.
It's going to be foreign to you.
Wait, I don't get to burn a bridge?
Yeah, I know you want to burn down the whole town with one of your witch fireballs.
Veronica said, hey, you guys were talking about pooping on I-95, but didn't the Mexican queen, Kevin's wife, her car break down and she shit in a box with her son Cannon stuck in the car due to a knee injury? Or am I just bugging?
I do remember that.
That did happen.
Yeah. In fact, I saw that and I brought that up to the queen. I was like, yeah, that did happen, right? She's like, oh, yeah.
Well, she's got a real greatest hits going.
She does.
Greatest shits.
Greatest shits. I was like, you couldn't wait? She's like, no, I really had to go. And she was telling me it was really tough because I guess with the box, she couldn't pee. So she had to hold that in.
Oh, okay.
Boy.
She's like, it was rough.
I've officially turned into Nosh.
Oh, yeah. No, she makes sure to give you way too much information.
So much excrement.
Yeah.
So little time.
So many details.
Yeah, no, and then she started just rattling off one after another. I mean, just.
Oh, she gave you like a top 5?
There's a top 10, Virginia.
Oh, well,
she's taken so many public shits.
That's Hall of Fame numbers.
Yeah. She just loves it. I don't know what it is.
I'm all about if you have to go, go. Look, emergencies happen. Sometimes you cannot help it, but you can't leave it behind.
And there's a difference between emergencies and also just loving doing it.
There's honestly, it's a weird thing. I think she might have like some kind of homeless fantasy where I think she actually she'd be all right being homeless. She tells me that all the time.
She would run the homeless encampment.
Yeah, I think that there's a weird that one day in her life she's hoping to be homeless. I'm like, well, you ain't taking me with you.
You're too prissy to be homeless.
Yeah, I'm like, this is a you fantasy.
But it is a fantasy of hers.
I feel like it is because she mentions it all the time. She's like, I'd be really good homeless. I'm like, yeah, no, I think you would be. I mean,
she'd be great homeless.
You're fine without showering. You're okay with that. Doesn't bother you. You love taking dumps outside.
She's good at scavenging.
Right,
She
absolutely.
can find this, find that.
Yep.
I mean,
she is resourceful.
Very resourceful.
She's got some good points she's making.
She really does. And I'm like, look, you got to realize there's a separation in this. This is completely, I'm not.
Kevin be dead on day 2 of homeless.
But I kind of see what she's saying. There's a part probably in her mind, the homeless part, just surrendering to not worrying about it. Not to be
I think there's a freedom to it. Yeah.
anything. And you are now just living off the land,
Every day
baby.
you get up and your only goal is just survival.
Yes.
It's like, here's what we're doing today. We're just going to try to put it together and be resourceful and make life happen.
Although that would be even more stressful in life, I understand. I see the subconsciousness of her going, yeah, it would be kind of free.
I think she'd welcome the challenge. She would like it. Be like, okay, here we are, another day, and the challenge is to, be resourceful and figure this day out and take a couple public dumps.
She could live off the land, yes. But she is completely underestimating how nice it is to have creature comforts. I think when those are removed, it's going to change you and change your psyche, and you're going to be like, boy, was I wrong.
I don't think she'd end up loving it in the long run,
Right.
but I think I understand the fantasy. I get what she means by that.
And
If they had Urban Survivor, she would do great.
do amazing. Absolutely.
They do it on an island now, but if they did it like under a bridge in the bad part of town, Kim would dominate.
If you did it as a challenge and said, okay, we're going as a contest, we're going to set you out, how long before you tap out? I'm good for probably 2.5 hours.
We did that as a social experiment.
Yeah, the Queen, I don't even know. I don't know if she
wouldn't tap.
She might just disappear into the urban environment.
She would stay until the last competitor gave up, and then she would crotch chop them and win.
I wouldn't want to try to beat her because I think she would go years. I really don't think she'd. And you look, you tap out and you're like, okay, cool, and you get to come back to your life. I don't think she'd be like, no, I'm good.
Shy of some sort of illness or injury, she's not tapping out.
When we did that experiment, and I think we had me homeless right after the show at 10 o'clock. That's when I started. And then I came back into the show the next morning, 6 a.m. And the one thing that was the most shocking was how many people live under almost every kind of bridge you drive over.
Yeah.
And they stake their claim.
And they do stick. There was one guy who got very junkyard dog-like. Get the hell out of here. This is my area. When I went underneath the bridge right here by the Burger King, he got visibly aggressive, like kind of saying, scram, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But that was every little bridge I looked under.
Who knew every bridge was already taken?
It's crazy.
It makes sense because you got the covering.
You do.
There's a lot of places you could go, and some of them will go in the
but
woods.
But that's the kind of
things
stuff
like
you
that.
just don't think about. I mean,
really
every bridge
don't.
is already taken.
Well, even the small bridges by the church area, there were people under there. Just you don't realize that that's a shelter for a lot of people.
Right.
I feel like Kim would move in and take a man's bridge.
I think she could.
Yeah.
She would assert dominance and take his bridge.
Yeah.
But you're right, though. It was his shelter, and that I'm some newbie coming into his little world, and that's all he has.
I get it. Yeah. No, I mean, it'd be like somebody trying to come in and squat in your house.
Stand your ground.
And you'd be like, no, you're not coming. This is mine.
Well, especially if you're down and out mentally too, and that has been the only place you've had for a while.
Yeah.
You really believe in your heart that bridge is yours.
It's yours, yeah. Yeah, I get it. And you probably want some consistency. You want
Totally.
some kind of normalcy in that environment. So, yeah, I would, wouldn't welcome it.
It's crazy out there.
It is. It's a crazy world. Lori, talking about metal detecting, she said, I want to let you guys know that I bought my husband a really nice metal detector on Amazon for Christmas a few years ago, and it's now sitting in the garage. He used it maybe twice. The problem was he was all hyped up about it, and he thought he was going to find all these cool things, and then he went out a couple times and found nothing more than a bottle cap.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, we looked all over the beach one time, found nothing. It takes a lot of patience, a lot of time walking up down the beach to probably find anything of any kind of value or it's cool. So I think he got aggravated with it.
Yeah, I think it is one of those things you got to stick with, and there's certain times you have to go to, especially if you have a 3-day weekend when it was really busy. You want to go either early in the morning or late at night. Late at night, you can't see shit.
Yeah. But, she did say the cool thing is my mom did lose her ring gardening, and I used it to find it.
Oh,
So
wow.
That was kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Now, Lindsay says, I love metal detecting idea. Once I had an Uber in Chicago where the driver gave me his business card that he does metal detecting as a hobby. He said he averages about $40,000 a year doing it every week at the beaches on Lake Michigan. And this was in 2016. People would call him also for separate jobs. One ex-football player lost a championship ring in his backyard several years prior, and he was paid to go find it for him.
Dang, metal detector bird service. I can think of a better name than that, but I do like.
The name's a little long.
Yeah, we'll work on that. But that's fun.
Yeah.
Bloodhound bird.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked how much feedback we've gotten from metal detectors.
I know, it is.
I'm still getting messages about it.
Yeah. You never know what's going to strike a nerve, huh?
I'm getting way more feedback about metal detectors than I have about anything I've talked about in 6 months.
Yeah. And engineer Keith said, with the mouth breathing and the mouth tape, I tape my mouth shut to sleep, and it doesn't make me sleep worse. It says, I've been doing it for years now, no suffocating. I use a 1/2 inch by 1 inch piece that goes in the center of my lips, equally spread between top and bottom. Instead of using fancy mouth tape from TikTok, I use wound tape from Walgreens. I've been on a journey to get better sleep through addressing sinus issues for a few years now, and I've tried taping my mouth shut, sublingual immunotherapy, sinus surgery, and oral appliance. And tape my mouth shut doesn't stop my snoring, but it does keep my mouth wet, which is healthy. Okay.
Trying to turn us on there, Engineer Keith?
Mm-hmm. Okay, he does different things there. All right. And some fun pizza facts. Mark said the founder of Little Caesars Pizza, Mike Ilitch, paid Rosa Parks rent for over 10 years. When Mike learned that the 81-year-old civil rights activist had been robbed and beaten in her Detroit home in 1994, he wanted to move her to a safer apartment.
Wow.
That's a beautiful gift.
That is. I never heard of that.
I didn't either.
Yeah. Okay.
That's terrible.
Who would do that?
They did that.
There's a special hot room in hell for someone who beats an elderly Rosa Parks. I mean, what the fuck is the matter with you?
It's extraordinarily fucked up.
Damn.
Also, talking about the USA Today best fast food list, they had Del Taco at number 1.
This bullshit.
And Kevin said that Taco Viva is better.
Taco Viva is the best fast food restaurant of all time. I know they're not around anymore. The wet burrito. I wish I could go back in time and give you that wet burrito.
Make it wet.
Oh, I would make it so wet.
Yeah.
Taco Viva, man, was next level. It makes Taco Bell look like who gives a shit.
Dog food.
Yeah.
Really?
Which sometimes their meat kind of does look like
I tell you,
dog
every
food.
time Cannon gets it, it turns my stomach flips because it smells like hot dog food.
I stopped eating the ground beef. I'm just like, no, girl, you can't.
I do all the veggie cravings on Taco Bell. I do not do any of the meat stuff. If you stick with just the veggie shit and replace it with black bean, to me, it's a lot better.
I do like their chicken quesadilla.
Chicken's going to be different than the...
Chicken for me is different. It's just the ground beef. I'm at a new place in my life where now I have to skip it, Taco Bell. I'm so sorry.
I'm not kidding you. There are times where the beef smells like poop.
Oh, I hear you.
It does.
It really does make me nauseous. I have to brace myself now when I drive through the drive-thru for Cannon.
You can also...
And he doesn't think it smells weird?
No, I guess not.
Maybe when we're young, we're like immune to smelling the weirdness of the beef.
I do feel like it smells different when you're in the restaurant compared to when you have it in a bag in your car. In your bag in your car, you're stuck.
It's rough.
It is rough. In the restaurant, you're kind of smelling what they're cooking.
Well, I started to realize, too, a lot of times that I've eaten Taco Bell probably over the last 2 decades, I've been hammered.
Yeah. If the beef grosses you out, I do suggest this little hack. Substitute it with the potatoes they have.
Oh, okay.
Or the black beans. Now, I wouldn't say do that at a regular taco place, but if you're not feeling the beef part of Taco Bell, because it still tastes good.
Right. I think it's just the beef that I have beef with.
Yeah.
Ironically, I don't like that beef. I just decided it the last time. I was like, no, I'm sober. I see you.
Replace it with potatoes and then get back to me.
All right.
They're
I'll do
spicy.
the work.
They're spicy too, so you might like that.
Panda's always itching to go there. He likes going, and then his belly hurts after. But I'm going to say, no, we're going to go, but we're not going to get that ground beef.
It's an odd thing, Taco Bell. I've talked so much shit about it because of the same reasons. It hurts your stomach or doesn't taste good. But there's still part of me, even after all of those moments, I crave Taco Bell. We're talking about it right now.
I know.
And I'm thinking about a quesadilla or their nachos Bel Grande without the beef.
I mean, they steam that quesadilla, and I think that's part of it that makes it so good. They steam it.
They got that sauce on it.
Oh. Damn it. Damn it, Kevin. Look what you did to us.
You started this earlier.
Oh, I know.
You've got us worked into a frenzy over here, and then you're going to go home and eat healthy and like a Boy Scout.
We just had food sex talk right there.
We got ourselves all worked up.
We forgot we're even broadcasting.
Where am I?
And you were trying to figure out the fish place that had been in that Miami Subs. Jeff said it was Arthur Treacher's.
It was. That's what it was. Thank you.
Okay.
Arthur
Yes.
Treacher's.
Yes.
Not Long John Silver's, not Captain D's, not Hook Fish and Chicken.
No, I think we had a Long John Silver's and an Archer around here. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And a Captain D.
Captain D.
The D is always my captain.
That's she's trying to be sexy there, Kev.
Yeah, okay.
She's making everyone uncomfortable. By the way. D's always my captain.
RJ Power hit us up here. He said, I first moved to the U.S. from the U.K. I lived in Stewart, Port St. Lucie area for 7 years, but I recently moved home after gaining my U.S. citizenship, and I'm catching up on shows. And he said, when you guys were talking about Rory McIlroy and his divorce at the time, Kevin said he was a Scottish golfer when he's actually from Northern Ireland. If you watch him while he plays, you can see the Northern Irish flag by his name, which does look rather similar to the English flag. Okay. It's part of the UK. It's also where I'm from. Very nice. Mm-hmm.
You learn something new.
That's right. Absolutely. So there you go. Just another one of the great golfers. And if you missed it, that Xander Schauffele won the British Open over the weekend. Dude lives in Jupiter now. So we do have all the world's greatest golfers.
We do.
Katy Perry did something where she's getting called out for. She took a picture. I forget the details, so please forgive me. But she was cheering on one country, but had the wrong flag in the picture, and people were calling her out. Oh yeah, they came for her hard.
She's having a hard time. Anything clicking. I saw an article on her new song that just trashed. And just they were just talking about it. She's clueless now. She's just the choices that she's making. You know, the fact that she worked with Dr. Luke on a female empowerment song. They're talking about the lyrics, and they said her lyrics just show she's just not in touch with writing anything powerful. It was so corny and cliche.
She's claiming that the song was written as satire, but here's the problem. If nobody knows it's satire and they all think you're being serious, then you're the whole thing's lost on people.
Connect.
So people thought she was being serious, and then she had to come out and tell people, because her whole thing was, we act like we don't want the male gaze, the male stare, but we're all about the male stare. We're all about men gazing at us. So she's trying to say that there's this double standard, and exactly.
Well, that's just what they're saying.
Exactly.
They're just saying look, some people can connect. Artists come out. I mean, give Taylor Swift some credit. I just listen to my wife and how she gets into Taylor Swift songs and the lyrics and the story behind it and all that. And that's somebody they're writing well, and they're connecting with their audience. And Katy Perry, there's a disconnect.
Well, the other thing too,
It's not clicking.
If you're not a Katy Perry fan, if you don't mess with her at all, and you watch Katy Perry, she's got a way of making a lot of people cringe.
Mm-hmm.
So now you don't like her music, and she's making you cringe. So that now creates some kind of a hate on on social media. If you don't fuck with her music and you're seeing her and she makes you embarrassed from secondhand embarrassment, you don't want to mess with that.
Whatever her second single is, I'm hearing a lot of people, especially on like gay Twitter, talk about how she should have gone with that second single first because the first one is crap.
Well, then she dropped 5 different versions of Woman's World. There was the all sex version. Then there was there was 5 different meanings behind the word.
That's a lot.
And all 5 of them sucked.
Well, and that's critical, picking that first single, because you only have one chance to launch. And that's what's really tough, because I've seen that before, too, where maybe it wasn't a bad album, and they launched with the wrong first single, and people just kind of buried it and killed it, and they lost interest. And so when they came out with another one, it was like The Boy Who Cried Wolf. They're like, yeah. And nobody really gave it a lot of attention. So, I mean, if it is good, I hope that it does well. I do want to see her do well. I'm not rooting for her to fail.
I do want to hear this second song and then judge it.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe it was just a misfire with that first one, and maybe the second one's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I mean, if the gays love it, I love it, because they are very good at picking a good hit and a good dance song.
They are, yeah.
They're all saying on gay Twitter that first women's whatever song is just crap.
Okay. And the second, did they have a name for the second single that you can check out?
I have to go. I didn't commit it to memory when I saw all the people talking about it.
Okay.
It's called I'm So Sorry About That Song Woman's World. Dance remix.
It's called Whoops.
That'd be great. An apology. Okay, well, we do have an update here from L&L about Vlad. And it says, "Good morning, dear KVJ. These, of course, are the ladies that abducted Vlad from our live show in Boca Raton some time ago, and now he's been having the summer of Vlad." He said, "Vlad is got a little relationship drama going on right now."
Oh, he does.
This is so
Yep.
Vlad.
I love drama.
One of his hotties that he met in the Keys apparently has been mixing it up with Prince Eric. And yes, Vlad had to get in the bushes to catch them. And you can see
Is
Vlad.
that Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid?
It is. He apparently got with the hottie he picked up in Key West.
And look, he's got his hand on his head like,
He can't
I can't
believe it.
believe it.
Oh my gosh.
He can't believe it.
She's cheating on me.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good.
Mm-hmm. So that's part of the drama going on. And now Vlad is planning his revenge. So he's also, heard that whole thing, the best way to get over somebody
is to get under somebody new.
Yeah. Well, apparently he got under somebody, but he also got over somebody as well. And he does believe in 69ing, and the only one that he had available was Raggedy Ann. And a lot of people know that she's pretty easy, and she puts out.
Oh, boy.
And so Vlad...
I ain't gonna lie, I got like a quarter of a bone piece.
Yeah, which is bold, because if people don't know how Raggedy Ann got her name,
I mean, look at Raggedy Ann's legs.
Yeah,
They're just so
an odd
spread.
fun fact about her: she's always menstruating.
So he parted the.
He did, yeah. He went for it. You're in them Red Wings.
Oh, Vlad does not care about no blood.
No, he doesn't.
He does
Yeah.
not.
He loves it.
In fact,
that's
sometimes he prefers it.
it draws him in. That's what got him going.
Vlad's an animal.
He lives for the iron.
Yeah. L&L said, "Riggy, why don't you take some cold medicine and give us that golf cart? Vlad wants to ride dirty and in style."
Oh, I would love it if L&L won the Icon KVJ signature golf cart.
So now we're the ransoms
It's now
jumped.
jumped up to a custom golf cart.
Then you get, newsflash, you get to keep Vlad.
Vlad's all yours.
You had me at Duffy's. You lost me at.
They don't let us pick the winner. We don't get to pick it. It gets picked by the computer.
Yeah. All right, well, we've only got one more day in YouTube jail, and then we'll be back live on YouTube, we hope, on Wednesday. That should be how it works out.
If not, I'm beside myself, Kevin.
Yeah, we are also working on alternate plans, so if this ever happens again, where they indiscriminately decide to penalize us for 6 days for a minimal to non-infraction, that we will be able to have just as good of an option for you so you don't have to miss a beat.
I definitely see us getting penaled again.
Well, I'm never going to upload anything. I won't even be shirtless in a video now. They've scared me.
They scared the sexy right off you.
You got to.
It's tough. It's tough to post anything that would get any kind of traction without having something that occasionally might get dinged. Like I said, that whole thing where the guy opened the beer on the gator tooth, gator wasn't harmed, everything was all good. I don't know what that was, and they gave us a warning on that one.
That's what is frustrating, because I really do try to put it through a filter of, all right, I'm actually kind of anal about that, pun intended. And the fact that we got dung is, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not liking it.
Dinged, and it's a piece of dung.
It is.
So hopefully very soon we'll get all that fixed. We are working on it. We do apologize. Hated not having the chat room and the polls and all that stuff the last couple of days. But one more without, and then hopefully back to normal. All right, y'all have a great Monday. We'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.